Humanity is now relearning the importance of sovereignty, not only in our personal lives, but in the workplace as well. Sovereignty is replacing dependency, which gives up our own authority. Karen Sherwood is a business and career consultant whose mission is to awaken the human spirit, empowering individuals to live their true purpose while utilizing their unique gifts. Okay, well, Karen is joining us today. You guys might be familiar with Karen if you guys watch Real Talk. Karen, today we're talking about our sovereignty, which is so important to us as humanity. It's something that we're having to relearn. And I want to tie this into the workplace because having sovereignty over ourselves can obviously change the way we do things in the workplace. So yeah, what do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is one of the major shifts that's happening right now is that we're learning that we can't just be dependent on everything and everyone, including our workplace. And so this is a quote that I often read to my students when they're first starting because it really has impact in the change that we're going through. This is a quote from Ra Uru, who is the founder of BG5, which I teach in human design. And so he talked about times are changing. And he said the whole direction is a shock, and it's going to be a shock. To be able to operate correctly as yourself is to operate in a world that will demand nothing less. It is a world that will embrace those that can operate as themselves, and it will also mean a great deal of disorder and chaos and confusion for those that are lost in dependency. Everyone was nurtured in it, and everything about our kind is rooted in dependency. And dependency is about giving up your own authority. Mm-hmm. Now, what that means of giving up your own authority is that we have this tendency to trust everyone outside of ourselves, but we don't trust ourselves. So part of sovereignty is really learning to trust ourselves, trust our body intelligence, trust that we know exactly what is correct for ourselves. And so, for example, in the workplace, oftentimes we sacrifice ourselves just to make money. And we can often end up doing things that don't feel correct for us, but we do it because that's what the job is. Yeah. You know, this also plays into other areas of life as well. For example, in our healthcare system, oftentimes we trust doctors, and even if something doesn't feel correct, we trust them even though it doesn't feel correct for ourselves. So all of this is about trusting our own authority, trusting our own decisions, trusting our own intuition, because we know best. And in a sense, our body can communicate much deeper than our mind can. And so part of bringing back our sovereignty is learning to trust ourselves again. And when you learn to trust yourself, whether it be at home or in the workplace, it's going to demand that sometimes you have to make really tough choices. But those tough choices, once you make them, is what really feels correct. I know, and I have worked with many, many people who end up burning themselves out in the workplace. They're not happy in the workplace. And where do we spend a lot of our time? Sometimes we spend more time in the workplace than we do at home.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a shift for people because I feel like when we think about the workplace, when we think about our job, it's always about what we can do for them as opposed to how this is benefiting us as well. Like we might think about, oh, I want to get a promotion, right? But it's still not, it's tied to money. It's tied to other things. It's not always tied to personal development. And it's rare, unfortunately, it's rare for a lot of employers to look at it like, what can I do for my employees? I know that does happen, and thank goodness it does. But I'm thinking like if we were to like sample all the companies out there, like in the US, let's say, unfortunately, because of financial reasons and whatever, a lot of, people that run businesses don't have that mindset. And we think, oh, well, we want to advance in whatever job we have, we think, oh, well, I'm going to have to give something up. That is our current mentality. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes out.
Exactly. You know? And we've become slaves to the system. That's part of the dependency. A lot of people don't leave their job because of benefits, healthcare benefits, or financial benefits. And one of the things is that a lot of people are not really doing what they love and loving what they do. There's a lot of quiet quitting out there. And those leaders, ones that I've worked with that really do pay attention to, in a sense, the true bottom line, which is their employees, and they can really understand how each employee operates, how each employee, each person has their own individual style, their own individual things that motivate them. When a leader can actually tap into that, the productivity skyrockets. And not only that, people are more healthy in the workplace. People enjoy and love what they're doing. And that creates a whole different type of workplace. And it creates a whole different type of connection when we can truly trust ourselves and when we can connect with others that also trust themselves. And we can work together in a completely different way than we never have before.